northern Syria, home to the Hamza Brigade, a faction fighting the Assad regime.
We are not terrorists. We are revolutionaries, and we have the right to live with freedom, dignity and justice.
These men are known as the Free Syrian Army, the FSA. The war they're fighting against the Assad regime is in its 8th year. At the military base for the Hamza Brigade. So this is where we're going to be spending the night. For almost a week, we lived with the Hamza Brigade, waking, sleeping, eating and moving when they did, to find out what life inside the FSA is like. Life in the FSA starts early. Rajib Shaiko is a military commander. He's waking the fighters up for their morning training. Though the Free Syrian Army operates under one name, across the country and over the years, there have been hundreds of different brigades. These fighters come from Homs, Aleppo, eastern Ghouta, all areas taken back by the Assad regime in a bloody offensive.
When the revolution started, I was in secondary school. I remember regime forces opening fire and attacking students. Their actions were terrorizing everyone. My decision to join the Free Syrian Army came after my brother was killed by the regime.
Zaid and Mohammed are friends from their hometown in Ghouta. Barely into adulthood, both have already become hardened fighters.
I joined Jaish al-Islam when I was 19 years old. We fought Daesh and the regime there until we were displaced and moved to the north. Here I joined the Hamza Brigade because it's the most moderate and most powerful group in the area.
Mohammed's wife is still in Ghouta. He tells us he's only seen his 7-month-old daughter Marie once, the day she was born. For now, in this part of Syria, the regime is being held at bay. The FSA here are backed by Turkey and have so far managed to hold this territory. Today, the head of the Hamza Brigade has come to rally the fighters. Saif Poulad is a former officer from the Syrian Air Force intelligence branch, known as the Mukhabarat al-Jawiya. The branch is the most feared of the Syrian intelligence. Saif worked with them for 7 years before defecting to the opposition in 2012.
At the beginning of the revolution, we were going to suppress the demonstrations. But as the numbers got bigger in all areas, the head of the security branch started holding meetings every day. On the 3rd week of demonstrations, he said, "Shoot whoever you see in front of you."
Early morning at the Hamza base. We're getting ready to head to the front line now with the Hamza Brigade here in northern Syria. Here on the FSA front line, Rajib is 7 years and many miles from his home in Aleppo and his former life.
Before the revolution, I was studying law. During my 2nd year, anti-regime protests kicked off in Aleppo. We witnessed how the regime started detaining people randomly. After that, I decided to go back home in the countryside. Our area was first controlled by the Free Syrian Army, and later Daesh was founded, and they became the most powerful group. Daesh militias stormed my house and attempted to detain me. I managed to flee to Turkey. I stayed there for a long time. I miss my family and my hometown, but I can't go back because of the regime.
But this front line is with Manbij, And the fight here right now is not with the regime, but with the SDF, the Syrian Democratic Force backed by the US. The Hamza Brigade also used to receive US funding. Now their former ally is on the opposite side of this latest territorial dispute.
There were many changes to the FSA over the course of 7 years. There was a transition from fighting the regime to fighting Daesh and then to fighting separatist groups like the PKK and the YPG. Now the FSA have begun to organize and are starting to build a national army.
The FSA's fight for freedom, though, can sometimes feel very far away from the monotony of life as a fighter here. But there are moments of light relief. Some evenings the fighters get a chance to relax, drinking coffee, playing cards, and singing and playing music. Sometimes they're the fighters the last 8 years of war has made them. Sometimes they appear as the young men they are. The bonds they've formed in this FSA brigade are strong. But this wasn't the life they'd envisaged for themselves before the war started.
I want to graduate so I can open a law firm and also get married and have children and live a happy life. A message to Bashar al-Assad. We will liberate our country. We have a true cause and truth eventually will prevail.
For now, Rajab and his men train and wait for the next order, another operation, and for a victory in their revolution that might never come. Sarah Firth, Straight Talk.